Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video we're taking on Coliseum OKIKU. Now this particular piece of content is pretty cancerous, to be honest. Basically it's built for Luffy Sanji, so bring a friend Luffy Sanji. That's basically all I'm going to say. But if you do have a Luffy Sanji friend, it isn't the hardest piece of content in the entire world. But in today's video I do have 3 teams for you guys. So the first team I have for you guys is a hybrid Shanks crew and Luffy Sanji friend. Now, what I'm going to say to you guys before I talk about these teams is this Brook, get him done. Get him maxed out before you do this content if you are struggling on the Luffy stage. This guy is an absolute goat for the Luffy stage. But if you guys don't want to hear about the teams, you just want to see the runs, I will leave timestamps in the description for you. And while you're down there hitting those timestamps, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. But the first team is a Shanks crew hybrid with Luffy Sanji. Now, you guys know I'm always clearing new content with Shanks crew, as in my eyes they are the most fun. I love this unit so much. They have an amazing captain ability. I'm not going to ramble on about him. You guys know how much I love this unit. 3.5 times chain lock is the big reason he's here as well. Plus his end of turn damage is really good for killing OKIKU as well. Supports and subs for this particular team, we have the original Snake Man. You can use V2 Snake Man if you really want to, as I actually stuffed up my run and I still got it done very easily. But the idea with bringing this Snake Man is so you can get the carrier of the orb effect from stage 4 into stage 5. Next, we've got OKIKU. OKIKU is an absolute goat for this particular piece of content as well, as she has double special activation. She can remove 2 turns of paralysis, she gives damage reduction, she rolls specials forward. She's very good for stage 4 and for stage 3. So if you have her, bring her along. You can also use the support of Kanjuro to remove bind on the final stage as well. Next, we've got the Super Type Sabo. It was a lot of fun bringing Super Type Sabo, to be honest. I don't run this unit, like, ever. So it was kind of nice to put him on a team. I did want to sort of try and make a Sabo team, but like I said, if you're not bringing like a Luffy Sanji friend, it can just get really tricky. And this guy being a mono strength leader, sort of, it hinders when you're trying to kill that Luffy stage. Finally, we do have the Brook as well. Now, something to note for this particular piece of content, I do say it a lot in the video, but when you get to the final stage, you need to make sure you have over 70% HP, otherwise OKIKU's going to do a whole bunch of stuff. So bringing units that aren't boosted or taking a lot of damage on the Luffy stage can stuff up your run, so just be mindful of that. The ship for this team, we are using the Liberal Hind. It's the best ship in the game in my opinion. It's very strong, as it can give us a 1.7 times multiple, is it 1.7 or 1.6? I'm pretty sure it's 1.7. No, 1.6, and there's one, oh, that's right, and then it goes up if you have Psy units. But that's the first team. Like I said, we are bringing a Luffy Sanji friend captain, as they are literally built for this particular piece of content. The next team we are using is the good old Roger team. Now, this, besides Roger, this team is like Roger and Roden. This team is pretty much free to play. Ideally, if you don't have this Nami on the Brook, you want to put the Brook down here. That way, you don't have to worry about the special bind on stage 4 on your Brook, and then you can use Brook to remove the rest of it. But this team worked exceptionally well. This Nami, again, you don't need her. I was just showing that you can actually use her if you want to, and you can replace this Vivi with the Clash Zoro, so that your slashes get color affinity. That way your Odin's hitting very hard as well. But for this team, we're using the Oro Jackson. The Oro Jackson is great because it can remove paralysis by 2 turns, so it's great for stage 3. And then we have the Pirate King himself, Goldie Roger, as our leader. Again, we are hybriding him up with Luffy Sanji, as they are just literally god tier for this content. So you guys know how amazing Roger is. 3 times attack booster, 5 times captain, just absolute monster. Does a lot of damage, and with this particular piece of content being built around strength and Psy units, Roger and Odin being strength and Psy works very well. So we are using Kazuki Odin as a support, a sub on this team. I love his level 1 ink effect. It looks so damn good with the petals flying around. Just looks amazing. He's our orb booster. We can carry over his orbs from stage 4 into stage 5. It works really well. Next, we've got the free-to-play Clash Brook. The double special activation is essential for this guy, so he can remove 6 turns of Threshold, 6 turns of Special Bind, delay, and be the conditional booster for himself. Next, we've got the free-to-play Cavendish. This Cavendish is our chain locker, as we need a chain locker to get around the chain coefficient reduction. You can use the new Beach if you have that Beach, but honestly, like, he sucks. He's doo-doo. You can replace this guy with basically any other chain locker. I would try and bring a red unit if you can, but as you guys will see with my run, I had so much damage that I didn't even need to attack with Morley or the Cavendish. Next, we have Morley on this particular team as well. He's here to remove the resilience on the final stage. Again, you can replace him with literally any other resilience remover. Someone like Stampede Croc would work really, really well. Someone like Limited Rare Recruit Alvida could also give you color affinity. And off the top of my head, there's like the Zoro Juru unit as well. But Morley works really, really well because he's a strength unit. Now, the final team I have is a Luffy Sanji dual team. Now, I actually used this Judge, but I would take him off. You don't actually need him, as Nami with double special activation can actually give us the color affinity boost. So Luffy Sanji, their switchability giving us recovery orbs, making recovery matching, their special being 2.5 times attack, as we basically have so much HP this entire run. Works very, very well. They are a 5 times captain when they are in their dual form, and they have that amazing overheal mechanic. So they are just absolute goats. We do have Ace on our Luffy Sanji. It's not essential, but it just makes things a little bit less thought processy with the switch abilities and like what time you have to be Luffy, what time you have to be Sanji. Next, we've got the new Nami. She's here for burn removal and color affinity. She works very, very well. Again, we have the go to this content, which is Clash Brook. Then we've got V3 Law. V3 Law is amazing because he's our chain locker and he's an orb booster as well. So definitely want to try and find a way to bring an orb booster, obviously, and a chain locker to get around the chain coefficient reduction. And then finally, for the end of turn damage, we have the big dog, Douglas Bullet. This guy's replaceable literally with anyone that can do end of turn damage, anyone that can move resilience. You can bring them. I haven't used Bullet in a long time, and I just really want to use Bullet. But literally, like, bring Morley. If you're struggling with pay-to-play units, you bring Morley, chuck him on, he'll work fine. There's like what's his name? Diamante from the Dressrosa event who does end of turn damage. You could bring him too. But that's the teams, guys. Let's hop into the runs now. Oh, sorry, supports for this team. Corazon and Ace, totally replaceable. Don't even need them, to be honest, but just makes things a bit smoother. But let's hop into the runs and let's see how the teams performed. Alright guys, so for the first team, we're using a hybrid Shanks crew and Luffy Sanji team. Now, with this particular piece of content, as I mentioned in the intro, like, you basically just need to bring a friend Luffy Sanji for this content. It's incredibly arrogant the way that it's sort of built around that particular unit. So just to make life a lot easier, I would 100% bring a friend Luffy Sanji. So on stage 3, we come up against Raizo. Now Raizo is going to paralyze us for 2 turns. Now if you obviously have your own Luffy Sanji as well as a friend, you can just use the switch abilities and get around that. But for this team, we're using OKIKU. Now OKIKU is going to remove paralysis by 2 turns, which is great, and she gives damage reduction as well. So we're going to use her to remove that, and then we can just use the switch abilities of Luffy Sanji as well as Shanks crew to get the attack buff. And then that way we can actually just kill Raizo in 2 turns. Easy claps. On stage 4, we actually come up against Luffy. Now, Luffy's actually a massive pain in the ass, but this is where this free-to-play Clash Brook is very, very good, and I would highly recommend farming him up before you take on this particular piece of content. So when you come up against Luffy, he is going to put up 7 turns of threshold. He special binds your top and middle row by 5 turns, and he rolls all your specials back by 2 turns. So again, this is where Okiku is very, very good, as you can actually just use the Okiku special again to roll your specials forward. Now with Brook, the new Clash Brook, he actually has double special activation. So if you use his special twice, you can actually remove all 6 turns of the threshold. You can delay Luffy, and you can get a conditional boost as well. Then we're going to switch with Luffy Sanji to be the Psy variant. Then we can switch with our Shanks crew for an attack buff. We're going to use our Shanks crew special, so we get the 3.5 times chain lock. Then we can use our Luffy. Hang on, how did we get Okiku special back? I don't know, I'm wigging out, but okay, cool. We're gonna use the Snake Man special to get the orb boost, and then we can use. Oh, wait, no, we don't want to use the Sabo. We want to save Sabo special because he has the same carryover effect as Luffy. So with that, we have an attack boost, we have an orb boost, we have chain lock. We've basically got everything going on, but Luffy has a lot of HP, and we do have a burn. But because of the overheal mechanic that the Luffy Sanji provides for us, we are just going to hit our perfects through the burn. Actually, no, it doesn't even matter. Like, look how much damage we have. It's ridiculous. It's disgusting. Wow. I didn't expect that much damage, but I mean, look, we're here now. So once Luffy dies, he does like this big end of turn damage hit, and then we move into the final stage against Okiku. It's funny, we're bringing Okiku against Okiku. That's cool. Okiku does a whole bunch of different stuff depending on your HP pool. If you're between 70 and 50%, she's gonna like limit you to 1 special. If you're below 50%, she locks your orbs for 10 turns. And if you're below 20%, I think she blows away some units. So that's why, again, bringing Luffy Sanji is very, very good, because the overheal mechanic gives you more than 100% HP. It's very easy to get around those defects. But what she actually does is she gives you 5 turns of chain coefficient reduction. She gives you 2 turns of hunger. And she gives you a full board of block orb. So she does a whole bunch of arrogant stuff. Like a lot of arrogant stuff. Oh, and to mention as well, she also has 4 turns of resilience. So what we're going to do here is we're going to switch with our Luffy Sanji. So that way we can make recovery orbs matching. We can use our Luffy Sanji special to give ourselves a full board of recovery orbs. Plus they heal us, which is great because then they become a 5 times captain. And then we're going to use our Sabo special. So we get the color affinity to our red units. That way, we've basically got, again, every single buff going on, but we do need to make sure that we do eat a meat orb, as we do have that hunger debuff. So we're going to start a chain with Brook. Oh, wait, I just realized I had to hit perfects for Luffy to get the orb buff, so we don't actually have an orb buff now. Ooh, that might be a goofed moment. But let's just see how much damage this team has. Alright, so we're going to start the chain with Brook, eat the meat orb, and then go with our red orbs after that. Alright, now the hunger debuff is gone. Oh, we still got heaps of damage. Boom! So you want to make sure that you take away all Okiku's health, so then the end of turn damage from Shanks can just do that extra 1 damage to go through resilience and easy claps. Shanks Crow showing that he is still the absolute GOAT, clearing content with the help of Luffy Sanji, of course. And there she is. Really nice art, by the way. Like, really, really nice art. I like it a lot. So moving on to the next team now, we're using the power of Goldie, Roger, and Roden. And of course, we are bringing a Luffy Sanji friend. And like, if you're not bringing Luffy Sanji, honestly, you may as well not even attempt it, to be honest. It's like, it's pretty arrogant in the sense of like using Luffy Sanji is like the way to beat this. But we are also using the Oro Jackson, so Roger's actual ship as well. Roger's ship's awesome for the stage against Raizo, as you can see. We can actually use the ship special to remove the 2 turns of paralysis that Raizo actually inflicts on us, which is really, really handy. On the second turn, Raizo is actually going to paralyze a random member for 2 more turns, but that's where we can use the switch ability of Luffy and Sanji to remove one of those turns. Of course you do Roger. Why would you not do Roger? But because we just absolutely spanked him the turn before, we can take him out easy claps on the second turn. When we move into the 4th stage now, we come up against Luffy. Luffy turns into an int unit, and he does a whole bunch of nasty stuff. Now, with this particular team, I just wanted to show off like the power of Roger and Roden. So I actually just filled out the rest of the team with free-to-play subs. But again, Brook is absolutely amazing for this particular fight against Luffy, as he removes all the debuffs. Now, ideally, you want to put Brook down the bottom, but if you put him in the middle row, make sure you have a support that can remove the other 2 turns of special bind. As you guys saw there, I have the Wedding Cake Nami, the limited rare recruit Kazuna unit. Should work fine, otherwise just put Brook down the bottom. So once we get all our specials back here, we can use our Brook special twice. Utilizing the Brook special twice is going to remove the threshold, delay Luffy, and give us the conditional. Then we can switch into our Sanji, so we have a bit more color affinity. And then we're going to use the Roden special before we use the super typing of Roger. Now, the reason we're using that before the super typing of Roger is because we do get the hunger debuff on the next turn. So we do want to make sure that we can get access to a meat orb on our Luffy. That way we can remove the hunger debuff. But if you have a friend that has more limit break, you can actually not worry about it. So this friend that I have does have extra limit break sockets, so you guys will see that in a second. But now that we've got our 3 times attack, the crazy orb boost, all of that sort of stuff, we can just absolutely just tear through Luffy's HP there. As you can see, we just attacked with our Psy units and it's GG. Like the special of Roger and using Roden to carry it into the next stage is just so damn strong, and it's gonna be so effective moving forward for a very, very long time. So when we come into against Okiku, she's going to give us a full board of block orbs, the ones that aren't 1-0. She binds our crew for 4 turns, which goes down to 1 turn with sockets, and then we can switch with Luffy Sanji to remove that. She also has 4 turns of resilience. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use our Luffy Sanji special. That's going to give us a 2.5 times attack boost. As you can see, the hunger debuff is gone, but very easily you can just attack with your Luffy Sanji or your Brook, whoever has a meat orb, to be honest, as your first attack to remove that if your friend doesn't have a good limit break. Next, we're going to use the resilience removal that Morley provides, and then we're going to use the free-to-play Cavendish for the chain lock, as she gives us the chain coefficient reduction. And with that, we have the color affinity buff on Cavendish. You guys could replace that with the free-to-play Zoro if you really want to, but most of these units, or all these units, are actually free spirit, so we just get a bit more of a buff from that limited rare recruit. I can't even remember her name. VV. But as you can see, as I was sort of rambling away there, we just absolutely clapped it with 4 units. Super easy with Roger and Odin. I might use this team actually to farm it. I'm not 100% sure, because it does it very quick. I might chuck like a OKIKU on there or something like that, or I might just use double Luffy Sanji. But we'll see how we go. So moving into the final team now, we are using a double Luffy Sanji team. So I wanted to try and put together a full free-to-play subs team with Luffy Sanji. But once you get to the final stage, you actually need a lot of damage to kill the Luffy. And as I've been mentioning throughout this entire video, you need to be really careful how much HP you actually have when you get into the final stage. Otherwise, OKIKU will add all those extra buffs, so stalling on Luffy is a little bit tricky. But I imagine there is a way to do it. I know Atsu does a lot of free-to-play stuff, or Asian guy, OPTC. Maybe check him out if you're looking for a more free-to-play team. But you could also use like the subs that I was using on the Roger team as well, and then just sort of fill the rest of the team out with like extra damage units as you guys need. So with this particular team, I have used like some pretty big players here. We do have the new Nami on the team, and then we do have V3 Law, and we do have Bullet. Now Bullet's replaceable literally with anyone that does end of turn damage, or anyone that removes resilience will work absolutely fine as well. I just haven't run Bullet in a very long time, and I did want to make a Bullet team for this, but I've just been away all weekend and just had stuff to do. I just didn't really want to throw together about 100 teams for you guys, to be honest. So as you saw there, we just flew our way through Raizo. He gives us the paralysis, but with the 2 switch abilities of Luffy Sanji, we don't have to worry about that. Moving into stage 4, we come up against Luffy, who is an int unit. He does 7 turns of threshold. I almost said 4. He's going to special bind our top units, and he's going to special reverse us as well. And now I just realized I put Nami in the wrong spot. So you ideally want to have Nami down the bottom and Bullet where Nami is, but that's fine. We can just stall a turn. Not the end of the world. Nami basically rolls your specials forward. So utilizing the Nami to roll Brook's special forward, you can remove all those debuffs. But now that we've got Brook back, you want to have your Brook down the bottom as well. That way he doesn't get special binded as well. With double special activation, Brook can remove all those nasty defects. And then we can actually use the Nami special now. Nami removes the burn, and she gives us the special charged. So ideally, like I said, you want to swap the Nami and the Bullet. So what we're going to do here is we're going to switch with our Luffy Sanji so we can make recovery orbs matching. And then we're going to use our Luffy Sanji special, the strength Luffy Sanji special, because you want to be strength on the final stage. So now that we have a whole bunch of Psy units here, we should be able to just fly through Luffy's HP pool. We don't have to burn, so that's awesome. We don't have to worry about that too much. Once you kill Luffy, he does a big sort of end of turn hit, and you got to be careful with your HP as when you move into OKIKU. As I mentioned, she does a whole bunch of nasty stuff depending on what your HP looks like. So because we're at a much higher HP pool, OKIKU is only going to do the standard 5 turns resilience. She's going to bind our crew by 4 turns. She just does a whole bunch of nasty stuff, as you can see. So on the Bullet unit that I have the limited rare recruit Judge, so we can get the color affinity buff. But any color affinity support will work fine. So actually, I shouldn't have done that. I have Nami here. Nami would have been a better color affinity booster, but it is what it is. So we're going to switch with our Luffy Sanji to make recovery orbs matchy. Then we can use their special to give us a full board of orbs. Then we can use our Law special. He's going to give us the orb buff and chain lock. He also turns all those recovery orbs into matching. And then we can use the Bullet special for the end of turn damage. Now, because we're using two Luffy Sanjis, we actually have double hunger debuff removal, so we don't have to worry about the hunger debuff that OKIKU puts on. As you can see here, just easy peasy, see you later. Goodbye, OKIKU. So there you guys go. They were my teams for taking down Coliseum OKIKU. Now this content was actually pretty finicky, to be honest, and if you're not using Luffy Sanji, you're probably going to struggle a lot, so definitely try and find a friend Luffy Sanji if you can. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there and belt that like button, and if you do want to stay up to date with more OPTC content I post, hit that big red subscribe button as well. And for all you bloody legends that are already subscribers, consider becoming a member today. But guys, most importantly, wherever you are in this beautiful world, remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, I thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Lights!